Hello Pisces, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the month of April. Pisces, if you've never been here before, I do this reading at the end of every month for each sign, and that's what I'm doing in these last few days of the month here. Pisces, welcome here, whether you are my ride or die or if you are brand new. If you are brand new, and I hope you'll stay, there is a subscription button down in the bottom right-hand corner of this little square where I live. Pisces, thanks for coming back. I appreciate you. So we do have some oracles here, so you know what I'm about to say. We're going to throw the oracles first, and then we're going to throw some tarot on it, take some details about the oracles. This particular deck, the first deck we're going to use here, is about what is the overall energy for the month for you. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter, my water family. What is the overall energy for Pisces for the month of April 2025? Tell me about Pisces. Tell me about Pisces, please. Overall energy for Pisces. We have material and spiritual prosperity. I like it, Pisces. Look, that's a great overall energy. We're looking at material wealth. We're looking at spiritual wealth. Things are moving forward in both of those energies this month for you. Foundations and achievements. So maybe you get more stability in your material world. Things that you're purchasing, rent. Maybe you get you get a lower insurance rate on something. Maybe you get a lower interest rate on something. We've got foundation and achievements. It feels like you're going to be gaining stability this month, financially and spiritually. There's going to be, you're going to feel a spiritual and financial stableness in your life this month. This particular deck, we're going to talk about what isn't necessarily in your control, Pisces. What is out of Pisces' control, and really if it's out of your control, it should be out of your mind. Give it up to the universe, let the universe take care of it. Let's find out what is going on this month that you really don't have any control over, Pisces. Tell me about Pisces. We've got back and forth. Okay, so it feels like there's some decisions that need to be made here. That and you know, the fact that we've got 4 here that tells me foundations and achievements with material and spiritual prosperity, it tells me that you do come to a place of balance. So I think that what's out of your control is that things are going to be this way and that way and this way and that way before they actually land on a place where they are stable. So hang on for the ride. We have discovery in the distance here. So it does feel like you're going to be discovering some sort of gem or something that that you think is of worth. Oh, look at that, an increase. It really does. Everything here points to a milestone for you financially or spiritually, that something of worth is something that is going to come to the surface. I think you're going to find it. This particular deck is going to be about your finances. We'll take a quick peek into your finances for the month of April. Tell me about Pisces. Your finances, right? We've already got material wealth here. Tell me about finances for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We've got forgive. Okay, so I think that when it comes to your finances, I feel like you're going to start going over things. And I think that forgiveness is on the table, which means that I feel like some things for you are up in the air. It feels like maybe you have to forgive yourself if you've overspent, or, you know, if there's things that you need to catch up on that you weren't necessarily, maybe you took your eye off the ball for a little bit. So I feel like you're not supposed to be so hard on yourself about your finances this month. We have impulse, so it could be impulse buying, could be impulsive trips. It could be something that you thought, you know what, I just really need this, and you did it, and maybe now you're paying payments on it, and now you regret that you're paying payments on it. This particular deck here I'm using for love. So this is platonic or romantic. And depending on what comes up in the cards is how I'll read it. Let's find out what's going on in terms of love for Pisces in the month of April. Tell me about Pisces. We've got regeneration. So it feels like you're either the phoenix coming from the ashes, like you're ready for something again. You're like, you thought that maybe, you know what, I swore to myself a year ago that I am never getting into another relationship. It could be that this is the month that you change your mind, possibly. But regeneration also does remind me of someone who might be coming back. Something you thought was dead and gone, was buried, had burnt itself to the ground, I feel like is about to begin again. Got card number 46, which is a 10. 10s are 1s, and 1s are the beginning of something. So it could be reconciliation reconciliation, a regeneration, or reconciliation. And like I said, platonic or romantic. You could be arguing or fighting with a member of the family, right? We've got the tribe, so it might be a friend or a friendship group. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Let's put one of these cards on top of this one. Tell me about this regeneration. What do we need to know here for Pisces? What do we need to know for Pisces, please? We've got energy activation. Connect to the divine through meditation or prayer. So regardless of what's happening here, maybe something's coming to life that you thought was dead or gone, and this somebody is showing up and wants to begin something again with you. I think that rather than doing the reflex thing, which is the no, I think that you're supposed to connect to the divine. You're supposed to get some sort of energy activation, meditation or prayer to find your answer before you give your answer. You've got to embrace, find peace within your current state of being. So telling me to tell you that it's time for you to do the best thing for you. Whatever's best for you in this situation is the thing that you should do. All right, let's look at some tarot. Let's talk about tarot. We'll talk about material and spiritual prosperity, which is the overall energy for the month, Pisces. Pisces, if you're interested in a private reading, please look below. There is a link to Wizio, and you will get my pricing there if you're interested. All right, tell me about material and spiritual prosperity for Pisces, please. So spiritual and material prosperity is bringing up the Knight of Cups. It's also bringing up the Two of Cups. That's very interesting energy for the overall energy for the month. I feel like the Knight of Cups is telling me that something is approaching you slowly. And it does feel like it is something, like it could be a spiritual union here. We have the Two of Cups, and then we have the Knight of Cups. It could be a romantic or spiritual union for you. Tell me more about this. I feel like it's someone who's being very careful, Pisces, that they're very slow on the approach. They're being very careful with their emotions, careful with your emotions. This is somebody that I feel like you've had a hug with or you've embraced them. So it could have been a special hug. Hugs are very interesting because they are an energy transfer, right? So especially if you're like the same size as that person and you hug them chest to chest, that's like heartbeats together. Like I feel like there's somebody here that you've maybe had a hug exchange with and now you can't stop thinking about them. It might be that you're thinking romantically about them, possibly. We do have the Two of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. I feel like there are some material decisions and spiritual decisions that you'll be making in the month of April. We do have the Two of Pentacles, which is again this back and forth sort of energy, juggling a lot of things, a lot of balls in the air. It feels like I feel like this person that's showing up here, it does feel like a person, whether it's a friend or somebody that you're romantically interested in. For some of you, it might be romance because of the Knight of Cups. But the Six of Cups is here, and it tells me that you have history with this person, or you have nostalgia, or if you don't know this person, you feel like you've known them forever, and it might have been that since you hugged them, you cannot stop thinking about them. Tell me more about Pisces. I feel like this is going to be a month of nostalgia for you. And I feel like you are very busy trying to make decisions, solid decisions. It's like you don't want the balls in the air. You want to solidify things. I want to solidify my material worth. I want to solidify my spiritual connections, is what it feels like. We've got the Four of Cups. I kind of like that. The Four of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. The Four of Cups, of course, you can see that tree, right? Somebody here, like I just finished saying, somebody here just wants to ground something. I want to grow roots, and I want to get stable in my emotional energy. So I feel like this could possibly be romantic for you. We do have the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like for you, your material prosperity is about to take off. This is going to be the month for you to maybe think about moving. Maybe you're making more money so you can live in a better neighborhood or a nicer place. It feels like this Ten of Pentacles is telling me that it could tell me long-term relationship, but it tells me longevity mostly. It feels like something that that you've been waiting for, that you've billed pentacle by pentacle. I don't think it's a windfall. I don't think it's like winning the lottery. I feel like it's something that you have been doing repetitively, that you're getting better at and better at and better at. And I think that it's going to bring this 10 Pentacles to you with this material prosperity here. It does feel like it's exciting, I want to say, and that you are having breakthroughs in both of these places this month. It feels like there is a breakthrough with this spiritual and material prosperity. Tell me about the back and forth. The back and forth is what you really don't have control over, and it might feel like it's out of control because all the balls are in the air, right? I feel like you're trying to get stability on something here, or trying to make a solid decision on something. I don't think that you really have much control over it, though. Tell me about back and forth. I think you're going to do your best to try and keep in balance while this is going on here. What you don't have control over is, I feel like your happiness is transforming here. It feels like this energy is overall for the month, but it also feels like it's something that is sort of out of your control, which means you can be happy. But I feel like it's that something here has to end in order for your happiness to begin. So it does feel like a door that you're walking through, or transformation. It feels like a transition to happiness. But it almost feels like it's something that's just happening in the background as a result of something that you've been doing, or maybe you've been fighting to keep your balance here. Maybe this is something that's coming to an end, and it's going to be replaced with the apex of happiness, emotional happiness and balance. Tell me more about Pisces. We've got the Six of Cups. We've got the King of Wands. Got the Five of Pentacles, and we've got the Four of Swords. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups. Well, that's very interesting, because it almost, I want to say that you're very resilient, Pisces. There is something here that you've been doing on a regular basis that you don't want to give up on. It feels like it's because it's something that you learned in your childhood, or somebody taught you to never give up. Never lay down, always be resilient. If you want it, you need to keep moving in order to get it. There are some people who just sort of give up and say, okay, well, I guess it's not for me. I'm just going to give up. And I don't think you're one of those people. I feel like you will do whatever you have to do in order to heal this feeling of feeling like you're out of control, or out of, on the outside looking in. I feel like it feels like it's I feel like you are a person who never gives up, because that was something that was taught to you. I feel like you are having this transformation into this happiness, because no matter even if the situation is out of your control, Pisces, I feel like you do your best to keep your balance no matter what's going on here. And your balance comes from the Four of Swords. It feels like healing. It feels like maybe you have to put people on the outside looking in for a little bit until you heal, until you feel better, until you're healthier, until you're more stable in the mind. It does feel like, though, that there are some things that are back and forth this month that you don't have a lot of input on, and I think that it's things that you're waiting for. But I think it's because you're in this transition, Pisces. April is a month of transition for you. I feel like you're hoping that things are going to show up here. There is good news coming, I want to say, that is going to materialize in the 3D. So there is good news coming here after hardship or disappointment. Whatever is out of control, I feel, is supposed to be out of your control. It's like you're supposed to be learning how to stay stable even when you don't have control over the situation. All right. This is about money. This card that says forgive. This is about your finances. It does feel like maybe you're forgiving a debt, or maybe someone is forgiving the debt for you. But it also could be, maybe it's time to forgive yourself for maybe a little bit of overspending. We did have the card of impulse. Maybe there's a little bit of impulse shopping or going on trips. Maybe you took out a loan to go on that trip because you knew you really needed it, but now you've got to pay for it. Tell me more about finances, please, for Pisces. We've got the Six of Cups. We've got the Five of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Three of Cups. So look, it is all moving in the right direction. I'd say the momentum is moving in the right direction. I feel as though you buy something large. It feels like there's a large purchase, or you spend a lot of money on a trip. It feels like you did it on impulse because you work hard and you deserve it. And I'm saying that like you work hard and you deserve it, Pisces. And so I don't think that you made like an off the cuff impulse purchase to try and resolve a hole in your heart. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like, it's like I just needed a break. So I feel like that it's with the 6 of Cups and the 5 of Wands is telling me now you're sort of battling with yourself. Well, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have made that purchase. I feel like you have the strategy, and if you move slow, that your finances are going to even themselves out. The 3 of Cups is happiness and celebration, and the Knight of Cups is here, and this is the one who's very strategic in all the moves that they make. And so although I feel like you're going to feel some type of way about it, that maybe you're going to have buyer's remorse at the end of it, I feel like, you know what, you needed it. Like it feels like you really need this trip in the month of April, or you need to get away. It does feel like it's probably to see somebody you really love, maybe, with the 6 of Cups being here, but it also could be with someone that you have feelings for, you really love. It does feel like it comforts you. I'm going to say whatever it is that you're about to do, it comforts you. And it does feel like it's a large purchase. So whether that's a house or a car or going off and having some sort of some sort of house purchase, it feels like it's something large, and it is going to impact your finances. But the Lovers, right? Maybe you're buying a house with a partner. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's something that's necessary, right? It does work out in the end because we do have celebration. Whatever it is that this means here, I feel like when you make this great big purchase, it's a celebratory time. So it feels like, oh, I got the loan for the car, or I got the mortgage for the house, or it feels like a celebratory time that you're sharing with people that you love, maybe family, maybe someone that you're romantically connected to. But I feel like it feels like you sort of beat yourself up about it. But I think that once you get into the house, once you get into the car, once you get on the trip, I feel like you're really happy and that you did make this that you made this large purchase in the month of April. So we do have regeneration, and then we have energy activation, connect to the divine through meditation or prayer. I feel like there's a situation coming up here. It could be with the tribe. It could be with a group of people, possibly, that is a happy accident. Serendipity is here. It tells me, serendipity also tells me that okay, we should probably look at that too. We do have the soulmate here, serendipity, and we have the soul tribe. It feels like there is somebody here that you're going to be meeting up with again. Someone you haven't seen for a while. Maybe you stopped talking to them. Maybe you guys I don't think that this feels like it was anything that you burned to the ground because you hated the person. It feels like we just maybe stopped talking to each other and life started moving, and we just didn't connect with each other again after that. It doesn't have to be romantic, could be platonic, but let's look at it and see what the tarot says. Pisces, tell me about Pisces, please. About love. This could be an old friend that's coming back, right? Mercury retrograde isn't always about lovers coming back. It could be a friend from high school, somebody that I feel that you're going to bump into serendipitously that used to be in your tribe, your love tribe, your social tribe. And this person is a soulmate friend, or a soulmate love. Let's talk about that. Tell me about Pisces. We have the High Priestess. You're excited to see them. So this isn't somebody that I feel you are parted from or not speaking with because of some terrible thing that went on. That's not what this is. I feel like you're excited to see them, and it's almost like a recognition of souls. So the High Priestess is someone who's feeling you out, and that person is not necessarily going to speak that out loud. This is, I feel like you're feeling this person out when you see them. You're sort of looking them over. Do they feel the same? Do they feel like they've changed? I feel like it really is an exciting time, and there might even be a little bit of a spark between the two of you here. But it does feel like, I want to say, because of regeneration, and it shows that there is, sort of like lava in the card. It's like it burnt everything down to the ground, and then there's something very different that comes from all of that. So we've got this thing that's growing leaves, and it's blue though, right? It is something very different than it used to be. So yes, it looks like reconciliation, but it feels like it's not like it ever was. This person has changed, or you have changed. Maybe we've lived lifetimes since we saw each other. Tell me more about this. We've got the Devil card, and we've got the Seven of Wands. So I do feel like this is somebody that possibly you chose to put distance between you and them because they were codependent. So they always wanted to be in your space, always had to be with you, always had to know what you were doing, who were you with, where were you going to. This happens in friendships as well as relationships. So it does feel like this is somebody who I feel that you either still feel attached to, or you feel doubts about. I'm not really sure if I want this person back in my life. I feel like this person is really excited to see you as well, and I feel as though you're feeling a little bit defensive about reactivating this energy that was between you. We've got the Death card, and we've got the King of Swords. I feel like you're going to talk it out first. It feels like the King of Swords is looking for information, right? This is the lawyer, the judge, the magistrate, really looking over all the data, looking over every word. Why is this word said before this one or after that one? It's very much about the analytical part of it, looking for truth, looking for lies. So I feel like when you sit down and speak with this person and get more information, that's going to tell you whether this person has transformed from the devil energy or not. Look, this could be somebody that you lost touch with because they had a really bad addiction, buying too many things, or maybe they were, doing something harmful to themselves obsessively and spiritually, personally, professionally. Maybe it was an addiction, but it feels like you may have created space between you and this person because of you putting up the boundaries here. I feel like you're going to bump into this person somewhere because we have the serendipitous energy here, and this person, I feel like they could be a soulmate friend or a soulmate love, maybe someone that you have dated before. It does feel like you are going to, before you even decide to let them past your boundaries, feels like you're going to grill them. I'm just going to say, you're going to ask a lot of freaking questions before you let them back into your life. Got the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like when you were talking to them before, it was a lot of hard work. Maybe this was a hard relationship, or you were the one that put in most of the energy, and maybe you just got crickets back with the Moon energy. Things were not as they seem. Things are not as they seem. Maybe this person has turned into a hard worker and someone who's really stable, someone who's building themselves, practicing self-mastery. We do have the Page of Pentacles, and we have the Star. So we have Aquarius, we have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, we have Scorpio and, no, not Scorpio, Pisces and Cancer. We've got Capricorn here, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Pisces is here, so is Scorpio, if you need any signs for that. I'm going to leave this right here. Thank you so much for coming to watch here, Pisces. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back. Because I'm always back, right? You guys take care. I'm out. Bye-bye.